What's going on, guys? My name is TeftyTeft, and welcome to another PlanetDestiny exotic weapon review. Today I'll be looking at the Fabian Strategy auto rifle. This exotic is one of the 3 class-based exotic weapons currently available. To acquire the Fabian Strategy, you must first level your gunsmith reputation to rank 3 on your Titan. You'll receive the quest Back in the Saddle. You'll jump through a few relatively simple hoops and get awarded the Fabian Strategy. It has an interesting look and skin that feels reminiscent of a Call of Duty arsenal. The flavor text reads, "Wait for enemy to make a mistake. Die. Stand by for ghost resurrection. Repeat as necessary." Ironically, the sentiment is very accurate. Let's go over the perks and discuss what makes this weapon tick. First up, we have crowd control, automatically unlocked. Kills with this weapon grant bonus damage for a short amount of time. Excellent perk for an auto rifle and for PvE encounters. Life support. Kills with this weapon, while critically wounded, have a chance to start regenerating health. When it's procced, it's like having the Red Death perk proc for you. The exact proc rate is unknown, but some people have reported as high as 75% proc rate. I personally think it's around 33 to 50%. Finally, we have the exotic perk Frontlines. This weapon has increased handling, stability, and rate of fire when the enemies are close. This perk could have been amazing, but instead is shockingly underwhelming. More on that later. The middle tier options offer Extended Mag, increases magazine size from 40 to 48. Lightweight, grants +2 agility while the weapon is held. And Small Bore, increases range and stability at the cost of a reduced magazine size to 36 and slower reload speed. And finally, we have the barrel options. Smooth Ballistics, increased recoil, boost to range. CQB Ballistics, greatly reduced recoil, significant penalty to range. Linear Compensator, more predictable recoil, slight boost to range and impact, more recoil. While these barrels do have some effects on the recoil patterns, range, and impact, the overall archetype and less than average stats of the range and stability make the Fabian Strategy riddled with problems that cannot be fixed from the barrel choices. CQB Ballistics coupled with Small Bore does offer the best stability, but it is still problematic. Let's expand on these problems. At its core, the range and stability stats are less than average. To be effective with this auto rifle, you need to land criticals most of the time. Both the range and stability make this a chore to achieve for everyday gameplay. The biggest letdown of all is the exotic perk, Frontlines. This is supposed to be a cornerstone perk that tells the warlocks and hunters that it's okay to be jealous of the titans. Unfortunately, the benefits given by this perk are so weak that it's easy to think it's bugged and not working as intended. Frontlines will absolutely increase your stability, but you have to venture into shotgun range to make this exotic perk proc. Also, no feedback is given on the screen as to when or how long, if procced, this perk stays active. It also states that the fire rate will be increased. This is so marginal that you have to compare video at a frame-by-frame rate to notice it fires about 1 or 2 extra bullets in the same amount of time to unload a regular magazine. And you're giving up an exotic special or heavy slot for all this quote-unquote benefit. It is just not worth it, plain and simple. On the positive side, it does offer the largest magazine for its archetype. Crowd control and life support come standard and synergize really well with an up-close and personal run and gun playstyle. And for PvE, it's not bad. It's not great either. The magazine size gives a nice buffer for handling 3 to 4 red health enemies at a time. It performs alright during strikes. The problem is any decent legendary auto rifle in the same archetype will pretty much achieve the same results, if not better. Dado used the Fabian Strategy for the raid when it first came out because his options were limited, and it got him by. And that's honestly what this weapon feels like, a stepping stone soon to be tossed into the vault or sharded after you've discovered a better legendary auto rifle, or use the much better Monte Carlo or Zalo Supercell. I do not enjoy ripping apart bad weapons, but this is definitely one of the exotics that slipped through Bungie's filter this time around with minimal playtesting. It reminds me of how the Necrochasm felt when we first got our hands on it. Disappointing. At least this exotic does not depend on insane amounts of RNG to acquire. It is in fact really simple to acquire, which is a plus in my book. The look is fairly unique, which could also be a solid positive in many people's opinions. I would in no way opt for a cool looking weapon in exchange for performance though. As with all reviews, we must talk about PvP. And as you can imagine, it is not good. In the current atmosphere of pulse rifle, shoddy, sniper, this auto rifle struggles. Its intended purpose is to get up close and personal and mow enemies down. You're either going to get shotgunned, team shot with pulse rifles, or barely make it out alive hoping that life support procs. Challenging other opponents of equal skill that are using a Hawksaw or Nerwin's Mercy will prove to be difficult, unless your flanking ability is 10 out of 10. Is there any reason to choose this weapon over the Monte Carlo for the Crucible? In my opinion, no. You would use the Fabian Strategy if it's all you had, but just about every arms day would offer a better primary to choose over this exotic. Keep in mind, this weapon is locked to Titans. Now, instead of sending you guys off with a throw this exotic in the garbage attitude, I wanted to finish off this review with a wish list of changes for Bungie. The base stats. They need the range, stability, and reload speed to be bumped up. It's got to be able to compete with legendaries in the same archetype. The Frontlines exotic perk needs to be adjusted to show on screen when it's active. The rate of fire ideally would jump to the next archetype class of rate of fire. That would actually offer a decent reason to get in close for a risky kill. It would also be nice if it actually synergized with a Titan super. Maybe inside a Titan bubble, Frontlines is always active. Or maybe when you have Blessing of Light active, Frontlines is procced. Or maybe when Force Barrier is procced, Frontlines is procced as well. Any of those Titan-specific scenarios would make sense for a Titan-specific primary weapon. Those changes would be a great step towards making the weapon feel exotic and being worth the exotic slot in your loadout. Lastly, it could also use a unique sound so you know it's the Fabian Strategy being fired. Something menacing that barks even louder when Frontlines is active. That would be awesome. One can only dream. And that is it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, my name is TeftyTeft with PlanetDestiny. You can talk to me on Twitter @Teft. Catch the PlanetDestiny streams I do on Twitch in the evening Pacific Standard Times, and check out my Let's Play content on my personal YouTube channel as well, TeftyTeft Games. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.